Hi, I'm Christy Corwin with the Build a Better World Foundation and Natasha Trenev from Natron Precision Probiotics. We are here together live from the Monterey Bay Peninsula in California. And it's a very exciting day today and a very, very important day today to talk about leaky gut as well as candida. And what's really exciting today is that Natasha is going to give us a protocol, which usually is not the normal thing that she does. So we're very lucky today to be able to speak to Natasha and to hear what information she's got for us and how valuable the protocol information is. And Natasha, I'm going to turn it over to you. And why don't you share a little bit about the leaky gut, which we've been speaking about over the last week or so, and candida, and all the information you have to share about this.
Well, the term leaky gut is overused and people really don't understand. Just shortly, right now we know that leaky gut is the cause of this rise in chronic disease. In fact, significant scientific literature now tells us that chronic disease is all linked to the gut. And when you have a leaky gut, that means that things are that the barrier on your intestinal wall has been compromised, and organisms such as candida and other not beneficial bacteria are getting into your bloodstream. And now we know from recent articles that Alzheimer's and dementia is definitely linked with the mold going into your brain cells and causing the malformation of those proteins that I've talked about many times. So we now know in France and Germany, they're using extensive probiotic protocols to treat dementia and Alzheimer's successfully with probiotics. And I can just state this, that yesterday I received a letter from a naturopathic doctor that's been with us for at least 30 years. And she's the one who sent me that information. And her position was that, yes, the probiotics work, but from her experience, every patient that's come to her that's told her about probiotics, the minute she gets them onto the Natron Precision Probiotics, they experience a relief or some kind of a change within the first couple of days, sometimes within the first 2 amounts that the person ingests. And this is where the difference comes in. My philosophy is that we don't treat symptoms. We don't deal with chronic disease. You have to give the gut the proper tools for it to help the body heal itself. And right now we have an explosion of chronic illness, and we have very poor solutions to those chronic illnesses. Everybody gives a good talk. Everybody cites a scientific literature, but nobody really gives what I call ample information that significantly helps people get better. And one of the things that I want to quote to you is that many years ago, Natron was the first probiotic Lactobacillus acidophilus that was studied by the Yale Nursing School in overgrowth of yeast in HIV positive women. It was a vaginal yeast, but it doesn't matter where the yeast is, whether it's in the vaginal tract or it's internal. If you have the proper organism that will never harm the body and can actually deal with overgrowth of yeast in HIV positive women and be used completely with safe assurance and perform as well as the drug that was used at that nursing school, that's something to talk about. That means that our Megadophilus and the same acidophilus that's found in our Healthy Trinity is effective against Candida. And right now, when we have an explosion of healthcare issues and chronic illness, and finally, science and medicine is acknowledging those chronic diseases are caused by the overgrowth of mold, which they've always denied and given us a lot of problems. Now is your chance to really get yourself healthy without spending a lot of time and money using things that may not work and actually harm your body in many different ways. So if you have experienced a leaky gut and really don't know what to do, the gentle way to start your regimen is to take the Natron Megadophilus whether the dairy or the non-dairy base, and start with 1 teaspoon before each meal every day. And then after you do this for a couple of days, on the third day, add the other powders, add the digestolac and add the bifidofactor along for 3 more days. That means for 6 days. First 3 days, you only do the megadophilus. The next 3 days, you do the megadophilus, the digestolac, and the bifidofactor, 1 teaspoon each. You put it in a glass of filtered, lukewarm water. You drink it before each meal. And anytime you have what we call symptoms where your body is cleansing, you can take more of this because this is not a drug. This is completely safe. You can take the whole bottle of our products, will never harm you. And that way you will have help detox. Now, once you feel like you've started detoxing in a week or two, then you can add to this regimen 1 Healthy Trinity in the morning. And in the third week, you can add 1 Healthy Trinity in the morning and 1 Healthy Trinity in the evening. So the first 3 days, you start with a teaspoon of the dairy-free megadophilus, 1 teaspoon in a glass of filtered warm water before each meal 3 times a day. The next 3 days, you take both the megadophilus, dairy-free, you take the dairy-free digestolac, you take the dairy-free bifidofactor, 1 teaspoon each, you put it in the lukewarm water, and you drink it before meals. So now we're up to day 6. On day 7, along with this regimen that I've already described, you take 1 Healthy Trinity in the morning, and then in a couple of days, if you're not having any detox reaction, take 1 Healthy Trinity twice a day. Along with that, please be free to use our low carbohydrate diet, which I developed with a medical doctor many years ago, and is still probably the simplest and easiest low carbohydrate diet to use. And please avoid all yeast. Whether somebody tells you they're beneficial or not, yeast cannot be consumed when you have a candida flare up. This is the thing that was very prevalent in our industry 40 years ago. Those of us have seen it for 40 years know that you cannot use any so-called benevolent yeast because it will encourage the candida to keep overgrowing and continue the chronic trend of these diseases. And in order to help other people, please tell them, because we do have a explosion of these crises going on, and people are attending leaky gut seminars, fungal overgrowth seminars, but we're not seeing benefits. We're not seeing people get better because the products that they're told to take don't deliver results. We have been delivering results for the last 40 years. 80% of our customers stay with us. So remember, our powdered products are there to give you a layered approach to approaching that 27 feet of GI tract. They have special delivery systems. We have special safe probiotic microorganisms, and we deliver them to the right place in the body where it needs to be helped and help to deal with the body's issues so that the immune system is stimulated, the toxic material is ushered out of the body, and the body now will have tools to heal itself from the assault of this candida. And since, by the way, we do have an explosion of Alzheimer's and dementia, I think this is such a crucial thing for people to understand. I'm not saying you should avoid taking any medication if your doctor has put you on medication. I'm just saying that we need to start fixing the body from where all these chronic illnesses begin, and that's in our GI tract. So if you didn't get all of this, you can join my chat group on natron.com. You can call Susan, you can call Carolyn, you can call Faye, and they're there. Susan has been with me for 22 years. Carolyn has been with me for more than 15 years. They've talked to millions of people, and they know what the problem is. So they're there to help you. They're not there to sell you anything. They're there to help you maximize your program and make sure that the program works for you. And you can always call them and ask to have your program adjusted if it's a little bit too much for you or you'd want to slow down on your detox program. But believe me, millions of people have been helped. I've worked with many people who are the antifungal business. I know all of them. And when they do refer someone who has not been able to get better, they always say, get a hold of Natron. If you go to the website, natron.com, there's even a toll-free number you can call, and you can go to our chat. Let's get people better. I want to hear from you. I want you to be one of those cases, like the doctor reported to me yesterday, unsolicited, that her patients feel better within the first couple of doses or within the first couple of days. I want you to get healthy and to stay healthy.
That's wonderful. That was a wonderful protocol that she just gave, and I hope that you all got it. Otherwise, you can watch this video again. As I mentioned when we first came on, Natasha and I are here together live in the Monterey Peninsula in California, and we are here for a One Planet Summit conference. And we are working together to help create a better world, a happier world, a we are all one planet kind of thinking.
A healthier world.
And a healthier world for sure. And if you have any comments or thoughts or questions, please type it in the message section so that we can do our best to get back to you and get these questions answered. And Natasha, I thought it might be helpful and valuable for you to share with everyone. Two questions. What are some of, when you refer to stay away from yeast, why don't you talk about what the yeast foods are, and that way everybody's very clear. And the other question is, why is the leaky gut and the candida problems, why are they not going away? Why are they still prevalent in so many people, and what is the reason for that?
Yeah, first of all, those of us who have been in this business for myself 40 years plus will tell you that you cannot have any yeast in bread. Please stay away from kombucha. I think kombucha is one of the problems. It's become a popular drink. And years ago, I talked about soy milk being not good for you for a different reason, not necessarily for candida. And everybody was scoffing at me. And then what happened with soy milk? Because you have to look at the culture that's using these products in order to understand its benefits. So anything that has yeast, and please stay away from any so-called yeast probiotics. They're not really going to help you. They're going to exacerbate the problem. The friendly yeast will not be attacking the candida. The candida will use the friendly yeast to, make you feel better for a short time, but it will ultimately use that advantage to take more advantage of you and give you the symptoms where you completely have foggy brain, your belly's going to be swollen, you have lack of energy, you're depressed, you're anxious, and the feelings of those conditions will accelerate because you've been listening to the wrong information. Please listen to someone who's been doing this for 40 years and has helped millions of people. And I think the reason we're seeing an explosion of problems is because there's so many people giving incorrect information, giving soil bacteria, which can be harmful to you, giving a so-called probiotic yeast, telling people to drink kombucha every day. And also the main factor is the pesticides that are really potent antibiotics. This is one thing that nobody knows. One of the most famous or infamous pesticides was Roundup. And we know the active ingredient is called glyphosate. Now, glyphosate was first registered as a potent antibiotic, and that's sprayed everywhere, on lawns, on your food, and dairy farming, in regular farming, in agriculture. It's everywhere. I mean, that's not the only pesticide. People don't understand that most pesticides are also antimicrobial, meaning they're like an antibiotic. So you're getting this, intestinal flora completely compromised. It's being killed just like you're ingesting an antibiotic that your doctor prescribes for you. And that's done on a daily basis. And when you do this on a daily basis, you start having these chronic conditions flare up and continually manifest themselves in our society. So if we're spending $4.3 trillion for our healthcare needs, and 80% is spent on chronic disease, we're bankrupt. We have nowhere to go. So either you're going to listen to people who have given you the same old, or you will listen to someone who's dedicated her life to helping you get better. And I know I help people because I get those unsolicited thank yous almost on a regular basis from either professionals or lay people who have found no relief anywhere else because people are not experts in this field. They haven't worked this field for so many decades, and they don't make the products like we do. I'm not going to give you a lesson in our specific probiotics. I just told you that we have 2 delivery systems. We have special bacteria that will never harm you at any level. And those bacteria have actually evolved with us as Homo sapiens and are safe at any level. People have to understand that bacteria have their own agenda. You cannot just use any product that just lists tons of bacteria on their label and you as a layperson listen to silly stuff that they tell you, which is really not adequate science. So please, let's start talking to each other. Let's start sharing stories. Let's get our nation back to health. Let's get our children healthy. The depression among young people is exploding. It's all related to Candida. People don't understand that because they're eating the wrong foods. Anxiety is exploding. Young people have lost their purpose in life. We really need to take a very active role to reverse this trend. Otherwise, it's going to get even worse. And I can't even imagine how it can get worse than it is now. So anyway, I think that Christy, in trying to build a better world, and I trying to make sure, because the old cliche is health is wealth. You can have all the money in the world, but if you can't enjoy that money, or if you can't do the things that you need, you're done. You're finished. So make sure that your number one priority is to make yourself healthy, make your children healthy, and make your family healthy.
That's right. That's an amazing advice. And, you know, just in sort of wrapping up today, you know, it's very much, and you share every time we've been together and we've talked about the different topics, you share how the body is a whole,
Yes.
and how everything affects it. So, you know, emotional, spiritual, physical, mental, all of it. And when one is out of balance, or one is not in harmony with the rest, how it sort of disrupts the body as a whole.
That's right.
And I think that's such a very, very important information.
Yeah, I think maybe just before we go, if you want to share your personal story, because that's how we really got to know each other. You know, Christy had her challenges with lupus, and I want to tell all the people that lupus is connected to fungal overgrowth. And, you know, she said she's been on her journey for 20 years, and I wanted her to tell in her own words which of the nature products she used to regain her health, and how she followed the procedures and for how long.
Well, I had actually 3 different autoimmune conditions. I had autoimmune thyroid, I had endometriosis, and I had the beginning stages of lupus and fibromyalgia. And I was able to heal all of them. And then it's been, almost 20 years now, and none of them have ever returned or come back, and I've been completely healthy for many, many years. And I changed my entire lifestyle, like what Natasha was speaking about. And along with that were the Natron probiotics, the precision probiotics. I started with the 3 powders. It was the Superdophilus, the Bifidus,
and the Digestilite.
And the Digestilite. Yeah. So I had the 3 powders that I started doing. I started once a day, and then I started twice a day, then I started 3 times a day. Then I added in the Healthy Trinity, just like she was suggesting with the protocol she just gave. And I haven't been without them ever since. So my whole family is benefiting from these products, and I don't go anywhere without them. When I travel, I bring them with me, and it really, really does change your digestive system, but it also is connected to the brain, more clarity in the brain, where it just everything operates better. Everything operates better. And my mother, who's 81, and my father, who's 84, they're both on the products as well. They're both taking Natron Precision Probiotics, and they also can't live without them. And it's just it's an amazing thing to experience. So I really invite you to order some and to be able to give it a try, give it a chance, and you will definitely notice a difference. So I can't thank you enough for all of the time and energy and your heart, your amazing heart that you have poured in to these products and to getting it out to the world, and for continuing to share your knowledge, your amazing knowledge. Everything that she shares is from the heart and from her memory. She doesn't have any notes. This is just her passion. This is the gift she's been given to share with the world, with all of her knowledge and expertise. And I hope that you will be learning from these Facebook Lives that we've been doing and that we'll continue to do. And please share any questions that you have below. And we're looking forward to doing more of these. If you have any other topics that you would like us to share, please mention it in the message section below.
Our mission is to make the nation and the world better. And remember, drugs cure, natural things give the tools. We're about teaching you and changing the world concept of health by allowing the body, which is magnificent, to heal itself. And if we do give it the tools, you'll be amazed how much happier, feeling better every person will have energy, and will be able to enjoy their life no matter what else happens around them. Because let me tell you, I've spoken to very wealthy people, and when they have illness, they suffer just like the rest of us. Their money can't help them. And so this is a gift that you have, that you spend on something that really works. I've been in this industry 56 years, and sadly, there are too many products that are made by outside firms who have no vested interest, no real knowledge to make you better. It's a product to them, and they just read something and then they mouth that repetition constantly, but they don't know the difference between bacteria. They have no idea how to ferment them, how to grow them. They have no idea how to stabilize them. And why I put everything in a glass jar with a tin lid, why I ship it second day or to you, not because I'm foolish, because I'm committed to make sure that for every dime that you spend, you get something of value that's going to serve you and your family and your friends' needs.
Your manufacturing process and your shipping process is like no other that I have never seen before. It is done with so much love and so much taking care of these products in a way that I have never seen before in any kind of shipment that you get. The packaging is just amazing, and how it's packaged on ice. I mean, it's very, 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 very well done. And the manufacturing process, I know, is very well maintained. You are constantly checking. Everything is such a high standard that it's just quite remarkable. So I really believe that you will experience something very unique in trying these products. And Natasha, the mother of probiotics, I want to thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity to be able to join together in how we can create a healthy, happy world. And we look forward to doing more of these. So stay tuned. Thank you so much, buddy.
Keep moving.
Thank you.